fixing the no-call audio problem on the Samsung Epic 4G and possibly other slider phones. I've been having trouble recently that my Samsung Epic that I have absolutely loved so far has had the problem that in a call I don't get to actually hear the voice. And I couldn't figure out what was going on because it started out being an intermittent problem and then all of a sudden it just plain stopped working. And it turned out that to make it work, all I had to do was open the slider because what had happened was that the connections on the inside stopped functioning correctly. And so as long as your phone is about this far open, I was getting audio. And when it was just closed, I would get no audio out of the I could hear the speakerphone, but the mic didn't work on the speakerphone, and you couldn't hear the in-call audio. The headphone jack worked, the Bluetooth worked, and so I'm going to be taking my phone to Sprint to get it repaired. I'll let you know how that turns out. But for those of you, and I saw a lot of people in various forums who can't find a solution, check and see whether or not your handset works when it's in the open position. And if so, it is in fact a hardware issue. It's not a call audio routing issue that a lot of people were talking about, that drivers may be affecting the call audio routing. I did try, a couple of people had suggested that the headphone jack might be detecting that there was a hands-free corded jack connection. That wasn't the case for me. It might be the case for you, in which case there's a couple of pieces of software that you can install that will detect it, but the thing that I found that was easiest was take a Q-tip, cut off the end that has the fuzz so that you can stick just the Q-tip in, push it down, and it will clear the mic. And if that's the case, what will happen is your phone will switch from making sounds to not making sounds because it will detect that the little spring that's in there that detects whether or not something's plugged in has been triggered. And so that's a very easy way to do it. So if you're having trouble with your call audio, consider opening the phone to see whether it still works. And you may do what I have to do, and that's just keep your thumb on it a little bit so that it doesn't close all the way. And that magically made mine work. And like I said, I'll go to the Sprint store tomorrow and see what they can fix it for. Supposedly, because I have the total protection plan, it ought to be free. It may be $35. I think that's what it is if you don't have the protection plan. And we'll see how it goes, especially since I'm running a alternate firmware and I've got my thick battery pack attached to it. So we'll see whether or not they seem to think that that violates the warranty, even though it's clearly a hardware issue, not a software issue.